I am so glad to see you are back. Today we're going to be talking about how to organise the Twitter madness using TweetDeck. Aquaba, welcome everyone. I'm Jade, and on my channel I show you how you can create a rockin' online presence that brings you to the attention of all the right people. Today I'm going to be using my screen a lot to show you how you can organize Twitter using an application called TweetDeck. Because let's face it, Twitter can be overwhelming, and sometimes you really just want to see only the things that would interest you. So what is TweetDeck? TweetDeck is a third-party application owned by Twitter that allows you to create your own Twitter dashboard full of things that interest you from the Twitterverse. I first discovered TweetDeck by asking a colleague, "Oh, hey, what's that you're looking at?" And thus my TweetDeck education began. So what can you do in TweetDeck? Here is my TweetDeck dashboard for my business, Misskoko the Librarian. As you can see, I'm following quite a few hashtags and one of the lists that I created on Twitter. If you click on the lines in the top right hand corner of a column, you get a drop down menu where you can customize further. But let's go through the menu on the left and I'll show you how you can make TweetDeck really work for you. Once you open TweetDeck, you'll want to connect whatever accounts you manage in the Accounts section. First, add whatever account is your main and set that as your default. Then, any others that you add will automatically go under accounts you can act as. And to add accounts to TweetDeck, you simply need to click on the blue link at the bottom, which for me shows as link another account you own, but if you're starting TweetDeck from scratch, it will simply say link an account. Then you'd want to go into settings, and change some of the things in here. I set my TweetDeck to display in dark mode. I like narrow columns and I like a small font, and all the options up the top here turned on. I would also suggest going into mute and adding any words or phrases that you don't want to show up in TweetDeck. And if you're like me and love keyboard shortcuts, you'll want to go into settings, keyboard shortcuts, and study the shortcuts you find here as well. Now let's get to the good bit and fill your TweetDeck with content completely tailored to you. If you go to the left-hand menu and the search icon up the top, click on that and type in any words you can think of. And if TweetDeck finds that it's a thing in Twitter, it will automatically make a new column for you with that word you typed as the subject. If you want a bit more control over what you add, then you can click on the plus sign on the left-hand menu, which is add a column. And then you get a different menu pop up. Every single one of the things that you can see in this menu can be a column on your dashboard. I find it useful to add some hashtags that I'm interested in by clicking on the search and finding them there. It's also a good idea to add mentions or add a mentions column, so you can always keep on top of whenever somebody directs a tweet at you. And if you have made a ton of lists on Twitter, you can add those lists as a column in TweetDeck too. And if you don't know how to create a list in Twitter, then drop me a comment. In fact, if you have any questions about Twitter, drop me a comment below. And make sure that you also stick around for my next video, because I'll be talking about Twitter chats and how you can get the most out of one. And finally, if you are a heavy user of direct messages on Twitter, it helps to have a messages column. You can add messages for a single account, or you can add a column that covers all the accounts that you manage. So now you should have a Twitter dashboard unique to you that helps you control the Twitter madness. As well as being a way to control the Twitter madness, I also use TweetDeck to help me keep on top of conversations during Twitter chats. Twitter chats are so fast-paced, and if you're not careful, you could miss some really great bits of information. So for any Twitter chat that I participate in, I add these extra columns for the day. I add in the Twitter hashtag as the first column. I also move my mentions actually right to the beginning so that I can keep an eye on any conversations that people are having with me, specifically with me, during the Twitter chat. So I have my mentions, and then I have the Twitter hashtag, and then I have the tag of the host of the Twitter chat and any accounts of regulars to the chat that I know of and that I'm familiar with. And I keep those extra columns in my Twitter dashboard for the day so that I can keep the conversations going. Now you've got the knowledge you need to organize your Twitter experience using TweetDeck. I've added a link in the video description below to Twitter's Help Center about TweetDeck, so you can research further if you need. And I also expect to see you back on my channel in the coming weeks as we explore all things Twitter. You've been educated and entertained. I've been Jade from Misskoko the Librarian. I hope you always be curious, and I shall see you in a couple of weeks.